Welcome back to Reefing Tips and Tricks with the Reefer. I'm your broadcast Reefer. This is where we talk about all things reef tank related in a compact fashion. Episode 3 is all about saving my SPS corals. Okay? We're going to go through a process of elimination. It's going to be full of tips and tricks, so stay tuned. And hey, if you see a commercial during this, put a comment below, because ain't nobody paying me. I'm broke, motherfucker. Cue the music.
Broadcast Reefer. Who's the broadcast Reefer?
First thing we're going to do is check the parameters of the tank. Like I've told you in previous videos, you always want to write down everything you do on a daily basis. The alkalinity and the salinity has been good today. We're at 8.7. It always stays between 8.5 and 9.5. Salinity is 1.025, which is dead on perfect. It's been that way for months. We're going to check the nitrates and phosphates. A couple tips and for your Hanna checkers. Alright? I always forget what I'm supposed to do with my Hanna checkers. The alkalinity, you just press the button. The phosphate, you hold it. So I always end up having to go back and watch the videos over and over how you do it. So what I do, broadcast Reefer tip, is I write down on here. I need 2 minutes. I'm going to put it in there, my sample in there. I'm going to take it out. I'm going to put my phosphate media in. I'm going to shake it for 2 minutes, and then I'm going to hold it. So little trick, write down whatever will help you remember how you need to do the test on the test device. So you don't have to go back and watch stupid videos. Alright, also, when you're cutting these open, check it out. You want to, they've got these little dotted lines around there. You want to make a little funnel. So you take it, and then you open it up, make a little triangle. Alright, you hold it with your first 2 fingers, you're going to flick it with your middle finger. Just like this. Tip it over, flick, 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 and get it in there. Alright, let's see what our nitrates and phosphates are and make sure everything's in order. Got our nitrates and phosphates. Nitrates are at 30.1, phosphates are at 0.21. A lot of you reefers are going to say, that's way too high. And it is a little high, but it's not that much higher than normal for this tank. However, that's where we're going to start. I've got water brewing over here. Pretty soon I'll have all this hooked up. Stay tuned, like and subscribe. So we checked the parameters on our tank here. My phosphates at 30. While seem high, this tank usually stays around 20 to 25, so it's not totally out of whack. The phosphates were high though at 0.2. So we're going to do some heavy water changes over the next 7 days here. I put in some fresh GFO, high capacity, with just a little sprinkling of some Guard to help smack that phosphate down fast. I don't want to bring it down too fast and shock the tank. I'm not sure if that's the only problem we've got going on here. These polyp abandonments here like that, once they start, they're very hard to stop, and this doesn't happen overnight. You know, it takes a while for things to build up to the point where the polyp abandonment starts, and it will probably take a while to get things, or at least to get for the corals to adjust back to normal. So we start with the water change. We put some new media in there with the GFO, and then we're going to think, what else has been different over the past 3-4 months? Well, I did put in new light bulbs, and they're blue and actinic, and I didn't like how green it made my tank look, so I put in a white horticulture bulb about 4 months ago, and to give it a little more white light. That could be too much. I could have burned them. They might be, all the polyps might be running for the hills. So I put the blue light back in, and we're going to do that. I've also cranked up my flow here on my MP10s. I'm adjusting them around in different positions, see if maybe perhaps flow is an issue. So when we have a problem, we just start like a detective, work down the list, see what might be wrong, and see what we can fix. And that's how the Procast Reefer does it.